Hello and welcome to the Bitcoin Roomies. I am one of your hosts, Big Mar, and I got my good friend and roommate, Mr. Gary Leland, with me. What's going on, Gary? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Just got back from a week in Cabo, laying by the pool by the ocean. I'm pretty relaxed. Getting ready to get unrelaxed as it gets closer and closer to the big day. But hey, good to be back. We haven't talked in a while, and the best thing about this show is that we just have a good damn time. you
Oh
know.
man, we have an awesome time, man. It looks like we already got one guy. Hey, what's going on, Top Dog Ant on Facebook? Welcome. And we also over on Twitter Spaces. We had to hit all the multimedia. You know what I'm saying? We hit everything, don't we, Gary? We try to get it
Yeah,
out there.
well, that's your job, Lamar. I'm just the talent. See, that's the good thing about being the talent. I just come on the show. I don't have to do any prep like you do. You have to take care of all that stuff.
Right, and we took a small little break because Gary had to go tan out and get chill in Cabo, and I was working on something that I think is pretty big, Gary. We were working on this thing called the Bitcoin Academy. So
Yeah, tell
Jay
us about
Z,
that. You gave me a little bit of info before the show. Let's get into that because that sounds real exciting.
yeah, so Jay Z and Jack Dorsey came together and decided to fund education for the people in the Marcy projects in Brooklyn. Of course, most people know that Jay Z grew up in the Marcy project in Brooklyn, and so he wanted to give this education about Bitcoin back. And he employed us at Black Bitcoin Billionaires, and also Ms. Naja over at the Crypto Blockchain Plug. He employed us to go out and teach these folks about Bitcoin and how to acquire Bitcoin and use it as an asset for savings and those kind of things. So I think that's pretty exciting, man.
Understand exactly that anyone can go to this participate in, or is it like a private deal? Or tell me a little bit more about it because I'm not sure. I know it's an academy. I know it's teaching Bitcoin. And I know
Yeah,
who's
so
sponsoring, but that's
it's
all
a
I know.
private academy. So you have to be a resident of Marcy to come. They try to keep it locked down to that. Just to make sure that the people feel comfortable and don't feel like they are, in a space that they can't feel comfortable in. So it keeps them comfortable. They also are able to learn online, but that is also only for the people of Marcy. So it's very very it's a very very good opportunity for people who don't have a lot to be able to learn about the hardest money on earth, man. And I think here's what's so
So this is a real life thing. This isn't just the online thing. This is a real life thing.
yeah, it's actually there's an academy in Brooklyn. I'm not allowed to say where, but it is in Brooklyn. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see some video from inside of it. I'm walking around showing off the space. It's an amazing space they've built. Amazing stage. You'll see some pictures. You go to Miss Naja's page, Naja Roberts at Naja Roberts. What's going on, T Mac? What's going on, Richard? Who else is down there? Patrick. What's going on, Marv? How y'all doing, man? It's been a while. It's been a long time. Good seeing y'all. But yeah, the Bitcoin Academy is an amazing thing. Guess what though, Gary? Some people
Yep.
were some people were negative about it. Some people were like, "Why are you?
Like
Yeah,
like
why are you teaching these people in the projects about Bitcoin? They need to learn other stuff."
like not Bitcoiners,
No,
certainly.
not Bitcoiners.
We're saying
No,
that.
not Bitcoiners. It was people who were saying that maybe they should learn something different. And why would you teach them to invest in Bitcoin when they don't even have two nickels to rub together? And my response to that was free education is always an add value, regardless. If it's good education, giving somebody an education allows them to make decisions when they get to a point where they have some wealth and have a little extra. And the thing about Bitcoin, you could put $1 a week into it if you wanted to, Gary, right?
Yeah. It's definitely something you can put as little or as much you want to. But not only are you correcting your point that there's never too much education, they need to actually add this education that you are working to give these people to a regular school curriculum. I mean, these people getting out of school don't know anything about money. They don't even know how to balance a checkbook.
Right,
I mean, they don't probably use a checkbook anymore, but I mean, they ought to know how to balance their money, or how to spend their money, or how to allocate it, or how to budget it, or whatever. So
right.
any educational money to anyone is good education because the principles are the same for Bitcoin as in the real with your finances. Stack, and don't just piss it all away. And then when the rainy day comes, you're
Right, right. And you know it's so funny
you
you
know.
saying that. A lot of people still didn't get it, and I think what happens is we get into a situation where the media likes to spread a bunch of sensationalism and get people really hyping and upset about things to try to get clicks, right? And it doesn't really make sense. I think giving people education, teaching them about financial literacy. Also, when you learn in Bitcoin, you have to learn about money. And like you said, most people, period, don't know about money. You could ask them about it. They wouldn't they wouldn't be able to tell you the first thing about how money is created, how it's issued, where it comes from, any of that stuff, man.
So, who were these people? Can you name some of these people? Is there
Yeah,
like,
it was publications. So the Guardian was one of them.
and they just said, "Hey, why are you teaching these people what money is?"
Yeah.
That's basically what they're saying.
No, it
Isn't that
wasn't.
basically what they're saying? Why are you wasting your time teaching these people what money is? They don't need to know that.
So listen, so everybody, I forgot to do this. Everybody on Twitter, please share this out. Everybody who's watching us on Facebook, I see you guys watching us on YouTube. Please share this out to everybody. We're gonna try to get the Bitcoin roomies going again. But yeah, Gary said, "Why are you teaching people about money?" That's the thing, Gary. People are they don't understand Bitcoin from that standpoint, right? And so they don't understand that teaching Bitcoin is also teaching money. Are you still there, Gary? You still with us? Hello. Are you still with? I think you paused up on the video. Got you. We keep it Yeah, we keep it rolling. I think over on I think you dropped on the video, so you got to come back on the video, Gary. But I can still hear you live on the audio. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think you like what you said. We're gonna learn about money, but I think again, it's just for click, right? And the fact that Jay Z's connected to it, it allowed you to put something in the title to get people to come and read and have an opinion about what's going on with Jay Z. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Jack has been supporting what we've been doing at Black Bitcoin Billionaire for a while. Shout out to Cash through Cash by way of Cash App. Shout out to Cash App. Of course, everybody knows that I got in touch with Jack because of Bitcoin Zay, him selling the book Black Bitcoin in Black America. Jack saw that. Jack also watched a couple of episodes with me on not a couple, but an episode of me with Marty
With
Bent.
me? With me? Oh, I thought you meant with me.
With Marty Bent. And so 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 we so from that relationship has been there for a while. And then when they wanted to educate, and I always say this, like I came to Jack with the idea of doing the same thing, educated things close to his hometown in Cool Valley with Mayor Jason Stewart. And I think what happened was Jack got to talking to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's like, "Oh, well, I want to do this in my hometown and I'll put the money up," right? So they are putting up the money. They are the ones sponsoring this education, which is an amazing thing, man. Like when I started, here's what's so crazy, Gary. When I started trying to teach people about Bitcoin, I was on the street that many people would think in my community would be considered the hood. If I said Georgetown Street in my hometown, everybody would say, "Oh, that's the hood," right? That's the first place I started trying to teach people about Bitcoin, right? They said they can't hear your audio, Gary.
I'm not saying anything.
He said he's not saying nothing. He said he's not saying nothing, Gary. So oh man. Oh. So yeah, he's not saying a word, Gary. So maybe okay.
I'm just listening to you. I'm just listening to you and gathering these sweet morsels of information.
Yeah, so that's yeah. Somebody in from YouTube's like, we can't hear him. He's like, I ain't talking. So yeah, we basically got together and they decided to do it here. And I'm humbled for them respecting myself, Miss Naja, and all the people in Black Bitcoin Billionaire, our moderators. They are helping to teach some of the courses to basically provide this information back to the community, which is something we were doing anyway, right? We have been doing this on Clubhouse for almost 2 years now. And so I am extremely humbled and have an extreme amount of gratitude for them trusting us with their funds to make this thing happen. So shout out to Jack Dorsey, shout out to Jay-Z for giving away free education about money, right?
Well, I'm impressed that it's a real life physical thing, not an online thing. I mean, I'm real
Right,
impressed with that. I mean, that's even a bigger deal than because normally when you would hear about Bitcoin Academy, you go, "Oh, there's another website. Oh, there's another website that I can go to and watch some videos of people talking."
right.
But real life stuff. So does somebody like you go there and like talk to
Yeah,
them and teach them
yeah.
stuff, or is there
We
a
have
teacher, or
professors
what's the scoop?
that go in and talk to them. We can't give out again. There's some things that go on politically, if you understand how the projects work in New York and Brooklyn and those kind of things. So we don't really give out too much of the specifics. But we have professors that go and speak to the students directly and go into the space and they go over and learn, and it can be really hands on. Another thing that most people don't know is that the people that didn't have the internet or don't have access to the internet, they even providing those people with Wi-Fi, with MiFi devices, so they can have the internet, so they can actually connect to the internet and do some of this stuff. So it's an extremely, extremely beautiful program. Again, shout out to those gentlemen for doing that. Shout out to the Sean Carter Foundation. Sean Carter Foundation, which is, of course, Jay-Z's foundation, run by his wonderful, beautiful mother. Shout out to the Sean Carter Foundation as well, as they are the ones that are helping us to facilitate all of this, man. So it's been amazing.
Well, congratulations on a job well done,
Thank you,
putting
man.
that together and getting involved with that. And, hopefully that's, I guess you can't really spread the word because there's only a certain amount of people that are allowed to be involved in that.
Right,
And I'm sure the word has gotten out to all those people since it's such a small area to cover, not like the whole world.
right.
But congratulations on getting that done. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think it.
congratulations. Yeah.
I think they're going to try to spread it to other communities as well. So this may be the first of many, Gary, which would be really awesome. So
Well,
yeah,
this,
man.
Bitcoin changes everything for people, but just having the knowledge of money, changes
Right.
everything. That's the basic core of it, whether you're talking fiat or Bitcoin or whatever, just that knowledge. And you can't get Bitcoin knowledge without getting
Money,
money
money.
knowledge,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So just that knowledge is a world changer. But there are people out there, Lamar, who don't want people to know about money. They don't want people to know that that's not their fiat. They're just getting to borrow that fiat till someone decides they need to take that fiat away from them.
Right.
So there are people like that.
No, for sure there are. So you know what? Let's move from the Bitcoin Academy, because I know something that is about to come up that you were getting yourself prepared for while you were in Cabo. Really, you was trying to relax before this thing really took off on you, and that's called Bit Block Boom, right?
Bit like boom,
Bit
boom.
Block
Say it,
Boom, man.
say it 3 times real fast. You can't do
Boom
it.
shakalaka. Bit Block Boom. So Gary, tell us about Big Block Boom and what's coming up from a Bit Block Boom perspective, man.
Okay, BitBlock Boom. See, I can't even say it. BitBlock Boom is our yearly conference. This year, we've moved to Austin, Texas, more in the center of the planet, of the world, of the planet. Texas is the center of the planet, in case you didn't know that. But what we do is we bring in Bitcoiners. This is a Bitcoin conference. This isn't a NFT conference. It's not a blockchain conference. It's not a shitcoin conference. This is a Bitcoin conference. You will get kicked out of there if you're talking about all that other crap. As we're pretty clear on what happen. We have our first senator this year coming. We have a great lineup of people, but it's more of a networking conference than it is a Bitcoin conference. It's not like your average Bitcoin conference where every day you're sitting in sessions watching speakers. We throw big events that are dinner party events. We have a gun event. We have a tour of a mining facility. We have a party dinner Thursday night, party dinner Friday night, party casino party Saturday night, big brunch Sunday, Saturday's conference day, workshops on Friday. So it's a lot of stuff going on, and it happens the last weekend in August. I never can remember the date. Maybe August 25th is when it starts, something like that in Austin, Texas. But it's worth taking a look at for sure. So go and take a look at BitBlock Boom, and if you're interested in use the code Gary. That'll give you 10% off. So that'll save you a little bit there because tickets are getting expensive and they go up tomorrow. at
Man.
midnight tonight, I
Yeah,
think.
it
Yeah.
says
So,
right here at the bottom, 0 days, 0 hours, zero
oh,
minutes.
oh, it's already out. I need to go up on it. I didn't know time ran out. What's today? Is the day the first? Well, it's not supposed to go up till tomorrow, so that's
Yeah.
weird.
Hey, but
So
listen, get in there and
I
get
guess
him. He'll go and change it for you if you go get him right now. Go.
well, you can still buy them because I haven't gone in. I got to manually go in and change the price. I guess I need to manually go in and change the calendar. So the countdown is correct because the countdown is
Right.
wrong, obviously.
And look, you see this right here, Gary, this Bit Block Boom chess tournament?
Yeah.
That right there, man. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all what. I went to Gary's conference last year, and I could not get myself up from the table of playing chess, man. And then, because what was happening was Gary was having an amazing conference, but then because it was such a family atmosphere, people were out in the lobby playing games. And then somebody ordered 100 pizzas or something, Gary, and just ordered them to the lobby. So it was a crazy, amazing thing, man. Gary, talk about what you plan to get out of Bit Block Boom, and are you going to try to make it bigger over the years?
Well, I wanted, when I originally did it, I wanted to keep it about 125 people. Now we're about 600 to 700. So obviously it didn't work too good. But I was trying to create the kind of conference that I wanted to go to. That was a fun conference to hang out and network with friends that had the same thing in mind. I wanted to talk about the same thing. So that's why I say it's really not as much of an educational conference as it is a network. I'm trying to build like a family reunion kind of thing where, if like next August, someone says, you, Lamar, say, hey, I'm thinking about going up to New York to go to this party. You go, I can't go that weekend. That's my family reunion in Austin, Texas, Bit Block Boom. So I'm trying to create that type of atmosphere because there are people who come. I have people who've been there every year and they come every year. So that's what I'm trying to do is create like a get together where we all just get together. We all see our Bitcoin friends. Lamar, I know this is hard to believe. I mean, you're going to have a real hard time with this, but there are some places in the country where you could be a Bitcoiner and not know any other Bitcoiners to talk to. I mean, there's none around you. If you're in, I don't know, I'm just going to make up a city, Pierre, South Dakota. Not a lot of people there, and there's not a lot of Bitcoiners there probably. So you could be a Bitcoiner and you're just going, gosh, I'd just like to meet another Bitcoiner in person, and this is where you're going to do that at. And like I said, this is hardcore Bitcoin. This isn't crypto at all. So that's the deal. Is just I tried to build a kind of conference that I wanted to go to. And if other people wanted to go to it, that was great. If they didn't, I felt enough wood to make it work. And turns out a lot of people wanted to go to it. But this is our 5th year too, Lamar. This is our 5th year. So, I mean, it's taken a while to build up to this.
I know that. And that's the thing. It's a beautiful thing, though, man. But you know what's so funny, Gary? I think that's a great segue into what I'm trying to put out as well. This will be yes. So for everybody watching on YouTube, everybody watching on Twitter, if you on Twitter, make sure you go to my profile. You can check it out and watch directly there what we're doing. But we are launching our first conference, and I'm gonna just be real. Gary was the inspiration for this conference because I went to Bit Block Boom and saw that family reunion atmosphere. And we at Black Bitcoin Billionaires, we enjoy that type of atmosphere. Like all of our events, we do a Miami takeover every year, right? That Miami takeover is an amazing event. We've done that for the last 2 years, and it's been beautiful. It's been a great place for networking, to find people of like mind, to find people that normally don't kind of get together at these Bitcoin conferences and bringing them together. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. Here's the website. Nobody has seen this website. It hasn't even been launched yet. I've been working on it, trying to get it.
Yeah. I saw it. I'm kind of lying to him.
Yeah, Gary saw it. I forgot. I'm sorry. Gary did see it before we got on, before we went live. But this is...
I just like to keep it real. I don't like you spreading his lies out there.
But this is the Black Bitcoin Billionaire Blackout. We have the takeover, and then we have the blackout. We're trying to make this an annual event the same way we have BitBlock Boom. So this is the Bitcoin Blackout. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like I said, if you can see the screen, you'll see like some of our past events that we've had. It's Bitcoin Conference for the Culture, which basically means like this is about culture. So like getting together, having that family reunion, talking about things that might not be talked about at all the other conferences, but also still getting an amazing amount of information. from amazing, caring, knowledgeable speakers, right? And we'll be announcing more speakers as we go along. Of course, the Black Bitcoin billionaire moderators will be there. We try to make sure all of them are there. If we can get them all there, it's going to be dope as heck. Shout out to Miss Nasha. Shout out to Bitcoin Zay, Charlene, everybody, Black Regal, Granny, everybody who's out there. It's going to be a premium industry networking event. So you can come out with developers, enthusiasts, and other industry experts and really get your stuff off, right? Right. Really get out there and go. And LV99 Slacker, yes, I'm glad you think it's awesome. Come on through. Make sure you go to BitBlock Boom and then come on down to Charlotte, man. You know what I'm saying? We would love to see you. This is going to be a lot of people's first time being in real life with a lot of the Black Bitcoin billionaire moderators that they've listened to for almost 2 years now.
So you're like, I didn't see it.
Yes, yeah, we really are. We're a couple weeks after that.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Gayton? Gayton said, long time. Yeah, long time no see. I would love to see more people come out to the event. We're trying to keep the prices low. So it's only $199 for the general admission. It's $274 for the VIP. And anybody who had a ticket from the Miami event, we're going to take $50 off of everything. So you'll get your ticket for $149 because you came to the Miami event. And we're going to try to keep doing stuff like that. So if you come to this event, we'll try to make sure we take care of you as well. And then if you come...
Are you talking about the rooftop event that I was at? Is that
the
event you're talking about? Okay.
Yep,
I didn't know if you meant everybody who went to Miami or if they went to the...
No, that rooftop event. Everybody who came to that rooftop event, they will be able to get $50 off. I'm gonna try to make sure we take care of. What's up, D? Yeah, it's been a long time. Listen, for everybody on Facebook, the reason why I've been gone for so long is I got my account. My account got hacked, and it was funny because I was on Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces when it got hacked. And some gentleman, shout out to Terrence Mack and Mike, they said, Lamar, I think your account got hacked, and luckily I was able to get it before it got screwed up, before it got screwed over, right?
Well, tell me about that. What's that mean? Your account got hacked on Twitter? They got they got your password and went into your Twitter account?
No, on my Facebook. What happened is I had an old email of a company that I had already sold, right? I sold this company a long time ago. I sold the company in 2017, 16, 17. But the email that I had was attached to my Facebook as a secondary email. So the person, whoever got the new domain, got the domain from whoever let it go.
No.
They used my email to go into my Facebook account, and then they put up all of this crazy stuff. And what I found out is they do that. So then if you don't catch it in time while you're blocked, they'll go in and start doing a lot of financial stuff with your Facebook account if you have your credit card connected to it.
So that's a tip for the wise. If you sell a company or something, you might want to check
all your accounts, right?
Yeah.
Go check all your accounts.
Even if you're going to let a domain go, if it's a domain or an email address.
Right. Check and make sure that those domains aren't connected to any of your social media accounts. And that's what I said. I wasn't even expecting it. It was a hit out of nowhere. It happened to me. And so I just said, screw it. Screw Facebook. I'm not going to get on there anymore. But the problem is that there are a lot of people that I've built great relationships with on Facebook that also like the D's and the Gatons and the Garys and everybody who's over here on the Brooklyn, Crizzy Grizzly, all of them, they all are people that I've built relationships with. So I was like, I got to get back over there so we can continue to keep spreading this information, making sure people know what's going on. So now I'm back and I feel good. It feels great. I got my Bitcoin roomie, a guy that I just kind of really met about this. What is it? About a year ago now, Gary. It was about November last year, September last year.
Yeah, it's getting close to a year. Yeah. Lamar and I were roommates for like a week in Austin, Texas. And I don't think we actually left that. Did we even leave that place for the week? I mean, once we got there,
we didn't leave.
Go anywhere?
No.
I mean, I think I went in the backyard. And, in the morning, I think I went for a walk in the neighborhood, and that's about it for a week.
Yeah, so, we literally just sat there that whole week, ordered our food in, and tried to write a book. So, and then I see Grizzly Grizzly in the Grizzly Grizzly Black saying, and my IG got hacked. But it wasn't my IG. My IG hasn't been hacked. What has happened on my IG is that people are cloning my account and then going after all the people that follow me.
Oh, my gosh. And that's a nightmare on Instagram that's a nightmare. They don't seem
Nightmare.
to respond at all. I mean, and the same people, they'll do it, and I'll say report it, and people report it, and then 3 months later, someone say, "Hey, this guy, is this you?" And I'm going, "Gosh, I thought that would be gone by now." And
Right.
it's the same guy
Right.
using the same name. That's just crazy that they don't enforce that any better.
Yeah, I know it's
You know
crazy.
what I'm really worried about on that, Lamar? I'm worried I'm going to be somewhere and I'm gonna maybe go to a high school reunion or something, with all these guys I went to high school with 50 years ago, and someone's gonna go, "Hey Gary, I bought that 10,000, gave you that $10,000, and I never heard back from you, and I've been messaging you," and I'm gonna go, "I don't even know what you're talking about," and they're gonna go, "No, no, no, you're a son of a bitch. I want my $10,000. I know I gave it to you, and so I'm gonna have this
Right.
issue." That's what I'm concerned about. I don't want
Right.
anyone getting ripped off. I'm concerned there too. I'm just concerned about what's going to happen to me down the road on someone who ripped them off, because I've had people go, "Oh, I had already opened up an account there. I was ready to put the money in, and I just thought maybe I should just double check and make sure it was you before I did."
There was a guy that I've been on for 15 years, Gary. And because he trusts me so much and me and him have done so much stuff together, he just assumed when he saw this conversation that we were having that this guy was being so good with that it was me. And so when the guy said, "Hey, I got this new platform, put $100 here," he took $100 and immediately put it there. And then he hit me up and said, "Lamar, was that you that I just gave $100 to?" I was like, "No." And so I was like, "Why didn't you ask me beforehand? Like, come to me beforehand." And instead of afterwards, he said, "I just thought we were having a good conversation." So yeah, man, you got to be very careful with these scammers out
Well,
there.
I know
It's
someone's
crazy.
gotten ripped off on me, because I've had several people that have said, "I was so close to putting it in, I just thought my last thing," and I know there's somebody who wouldn't be that tedious on checking to make sure it was me. So I really
Right.
think that's I don't know. Everybody knows that's disgusting, but I feel sorry for people that's their whole goal in life is to scam people.
To scam other people, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
stupid. It's really stupid, Gary. It really is. And it makes me mad because Twitter and Instagram can help quickly. They know that all of these people keep reporting to people that look like us. So just give us a check so we won't have to worry about it. And the thing is that the young people, they're like, "Lamar, you just clout chasing trying to get a check." I don't know anything about that, Gary. You might be a boomer, but I'm boomer light. I'm like right. I'm like right after you.
You
I
know
don't
what?
know what the check. I don't even
I
know
don't
what the
know. I
check
don't
gives
know
me.
how the check. How's it help you? I mean,
Yeah, it only helps.
if someone's getting scammed by the fake me,
Right.
and they go, "Oh, I think Gary might have a check. Maybe he doesn't have a check." I don't know. I don't even see where the check would help us.
Yeah.
There ought to be some way that they can gosh, they're pretty smart with computers when they're building these sites, so they can have someone who has my same name come on there, and it picks it up and goes, "Wait a second, this guy's using the same stuff, using the same headshot. There can't be two of them."
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary. Listen.
And they know they're bots. So if they got a bot that's posting the same message I post just 5 seconds later, they ought to be able to figure this out.
Well, see, you know what happened with me, Gary, is that I took my profile picture completely off, and it seemed like that worked the best. Because if somebody sees a profile with no picture on it, even if it's me, they're gonna say, "Oh, that's not Lamar. Why would he not have a picture on it?" So then they don't. I seem like that works the best. But then now I have to have a profile with no picture on it. It's just like there's no easy way, because what they do is they just use people who are known, and then they create these accounts and then go after people, and it's not a cool situation. I see somebody.
Well, maybe I ought to change my Instagram to no picture. Then they would at least always be skeptical of giving me. I tried posting a pinned post, hoping that would be on their page, saying, "I'm not going to ever ask you for money if I am. This is fake." But I think they must.
They don't put that one on, exactly. And then they have so many followers already. So this is what I started learning. It just
they
takes
got more followers than me. My fake accounts have more followers than me.
It's just here's what I learned. It takes too much time. So this is what I found out. What happens is if you look and you start looking at it, you can notice some of these people who have these accounts. So I'll go through and look at new followers I have, and I'll find them and I'll look at their account and I'll see that their account already has my pictures on it, but they have a different name and with other followers. And so what they do is they go in, follow you, switch their page out, and then change the name to it, and then get to scamming. That's what they do. So if I could catch them before, I can go grab them and start reporting them before they even change their name to my name. But it just takes too much time. I don't have time to just sit on Instagram and police myself.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know?
agree. And then nothing happens when you police yourself anyway, I feel like. Hey, I want to ask you a question and get back on the
Yeah.
Bitcoin subject here real quick.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, we've had a lot of exchanges or
Shoo.
Bitcoin companies that are like going crazy, losing money. We had I don't know what the first one was, but I know Celsius is about to go in the toilet. It looks like I see a lot of talk on Voyager. What's happening over there on Voyager? I
Man,
mean,
I don't know. Let's go look some of this stuff up. Let's go check it out because I don't know what happened. I heard some bad things were going on there as well. I think a lot of these companies, if you think about it, they went after that DeFi stuff and
right,
trying to get interest on their money, right? And where you can go get interest on your Bitcoin or whatever. But the problem with that is trying to get yield on it. But the problem with that is that a lot of these things were built on systems that were extremely bad. So, okay, one of the most prominent crypto hedge funds just defaulted on a $670 million loan. So that's the three
who's
arrows
that?
capital.
Yeah, yeah, that was I saw them this morning mentioned. It's just like it's yeah, and people are locking people out, not letting them take their Bitcoin off these exchanges. You know, so
Because
so go ahead.
yeah, it says Voyager right now is trying to Daniel Berkstein, excuse me. What's up, Daniel? He said Voyager's trying to stabilize. They got some money from FTX. So evidently,
Yeah, but they got that money a few days ago, and they're still like not. I mean, they're still not. I don't think. I'm still seeing them on the like conventional news channels as like in the toilet. You know, my neighbor, one of my neighbors, last year, he said, "Oh, I had some Bitcoin." I said, Where'd you get it at?" He goes, "Oh, I got it off Voyager." And I said, "Well, you're the only person I really know that's bought anything off Voyager. I mean, that I personally know." And I saw him
right,
on a walk last night, and I said, "Hey, you still got that Bitcoin on Voyager?" And he goes, "Yeah, I was real proud of it. I sure do." I said, "Man, you might want to get that off of there like ASAP." You know, and he goes, "What do you mean?" And I was trying to tell him, but I don't know if he's doing anything about
right.
it.
See, so Daniel said Voyager. Thank you,
Oh,
Daniel.
thanks,
Daniel's like our
Daniel.
producer
Yeah,
right now.
he is. He is. We might
Hey,
want to bring
listen,
him in
I'll
to the
shoot him a link so
fold.
he can jump in this conversation. Um, listen, but it says Voyager lent money to three arrows and they can't pay it back. Now, here's the thing, Gary. Here's the
They don't get
here's the
collateral,
issue, though, Gary. When they say they lent money, you know what I think they actually lent? They probably lent people's Bitcoin
right? That's what I think they did too, and that's why they're locking it up, saying you can't have your Bitcoin right now because they don't have
because
any Bitcoin.
they don't have
That
any
the fact they
Bitcoin.
don't have the Bitcoin back and whatever they had in reserves has dropped in value by 2/3. So if they said, "Hey, we can loan this out and still have uh, million in reserves. Now they got 20 million in reserves and they loaned it out
Right.
and they're not getting
That
it back.
listen, is rehypothecation is what is killing all of this. Oh, somebody just said it. They are rehypothecating people's Bitcoin and giving it to these hedge funds to then go take these risks. But what happens when the hedge fund doesn't get it back? Now all of a sudden, that is going to have systemic problems throughout the entire cryptocurrency space. And the only people who are actually going to be in good graces are in a good space are people like FTX who didn't take those kind of bets, right? So now FTX is bailing everybody out, and before we know it, it'll be all consolidated, and the FTX will have the entire cryptocurrency market. They'll have all of those different exchanges in the crap coins and all the stuff because they're the only ones that have been that seem to be capitalized enough to be able to handle any of this downward pressure, right? It's just I don't know, Gary. It's too much stuff going on, man.
So this morning, Grayscale Capital was refused to have the ETF, and they thought they were getting the ETF, but the SEC said no. So I think Grayscale Capital this morning, I saw the head of Grayscale saying they're suing. They're going to sue the SEC for discrimination because they're allowing all these Bitcoin ETFs that are that not real Bitcoin ETFs, but the futures. They allow in
Right,
all those, but they won't allow physical Bitcoin ETFs. So they're
right,
about to file a lawsuit against the SEC, which will take years probably to get anywhere, even if it does get anywhere.
right.
So, but I have the feeling from what I had seen last week or so, they thought it was like a done deal that they were going to have a physical ETF, and then this morning was kind of like a surprise to them. That's how it appeared to me. Not that I've talked to anybody.
Did you see this? I think that's what you were talking to me about Gemini. So Gemini, it says Gemini has a class action suit from. I mean, let me see, a lawsuit against Gemini from the CFTC.
Mm.
It's
I,
happened on
I knew they were.
June
I
the
knew they
second.
were having problems. I just saw this morning a real quick clip that they were having problems. I didn't know exactly what it was. So
Yeah,
tell us about that.
yeah. It says that on June the 2nd, United States CFTC, basically the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, initiated action against Gemini. He said, among other things, the complaint alleges that Gemini made a number of false and misleading statements to the CFTC in connection with the potential self-certification of a Bitcoin futures contract, the prices for which were to be settled daily by an auction. So they playing around with the CFTC. You got Celsius in a bad situation. There's somebody. Hold on. Satoshi Sim says, "What up, Big Mar, LV9 Slacker? Nice to make your acquaintance, Gary Leland. Great content, guys. So we got somebody who's enjoying what we're talking
Hey,
about. We gotta keep going."
hey, Satoshi Slim.
But it seems like Gemini is in trouble because they lied to the CFTC. It seems like Voyager's in trouble because they basically provided liquidity or gave some Bitcoin. Or we don't know what. Here's the biggest thing: we don't know what assets they gave in a loan to 3AC that now they can't pay it back. They're in default. So their whole system is built on that. And if you gave them your Bitcoin to hold and to get interest on, you're gonna be in trouble. It's just
I've always been confused on that. Loaning your money out, your Bitcoin out, like that. Because to me, the interest you're gaining isn't that big. If Bitcoin by itself, with the way Bitcoin goes up, isn't enough for you, then you
right.
really thinking that you deserve a lot of money. And number two, aren't you loaning it to someone who then is going to loan it to someone who might short the market and cause your own Bitcoin to go down because you're loaning it to someone who's loaning it to someone who doesn't have your good intentions in mind when they borrow your Bitcoin.
That's the craziest part, Gary. I'm sitting there trying to figure out, and we used to say this all the time. We actually had one of the lead sales guys from Celsius on Black Bitcoin Billionaires really, really early. And we sat and talked to him, and that made me have a red flag immediately when he told me that they would take our Bitcoin and they would loan it out. If we got a loan with them, they would loan our Bitcoin out. And then I said, "Do you have insurance?" He said, "Yeah, up to 10 million." So I said, "Hold on. So if I put more than $10 million worth of Bitcoin in your into your product and you loan it out and they can't give me back the same amount of Bitcoin, and what happens if the price of the Bitcoin goes up? You only gonna give me $10 million, which means if I take that 10 million, I can't get any more, I can't get the same amount of Bitcoin back." And he was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much what it is." And I was like, "Then why would I want to do that?" So if a lot more people had been listening to this stuff early, they probably wouldn't have got caught up in that mess, man.
So how long do you think we're going to see this mess going on? I know none of us are fortune tellers, but I mean, this is a big mess.
Yeah, because when you start to lever things on top of each other, then you pull the bottom out, a lot of stuff's going to fall. If people were just dealing with buying and holding Bitcoin, we wouldn't be seeing this. But when you start rehypothecating, trying to make a little bit of yield on the Bitcoin, then of course you're going to see things start to fall apart, Gary. And I don't know where it ends.
Hey, how's this affecting? There's a market I know nothing about because I'm not involved with it. So how is this all affecting the NFT market? I mean, there are people who put a lot of money.
No.
Spent good Bitcoins and good on that. I'm not going to say good Ethereum because they didn't. They're in the same boat now probably that they were. But there are a lot of people who put a lot into those NFTs. So how's that being affected by the crash here? I would think that would be comparable to the ICOs. I mean, which I've always thought the NFTs were this time around's version of ICOs. I mean,
Gary, you are exactly right. 100% correct. So in the mornings, I get on with some buddies of mine, and they call themselves the Crypto Breakfast Club. And I love talking to them because all of them are degenerates. They pretty much are degenerates. They'll trade anything. They'll sell anything. And so I like to get in there and listen to them. And they call me the Debbie Downer, the curmudgeon. They call me out. They call me the party pooper because I'm always telling them why the stuff they're investing in isn't something that they should be trying to hold on to for a long term. Like, listen, if you want to trade it, you trying to make money, that's a different game than you thinking that these things are worth something for the long run, right? And so I try to explain that, like, Lamar, you always throwing salt on our wounds and da 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 da. But what I'm hearing from them is that a lot of them are starting to understand why I keep talking about Bitcoin. One guy said, Lamar will have you late at night sitting in a dark room contemplating why you ever got into any other cryptocurrencies but Bitcoin. That's what he said.
Well, you've done a good job then if you've shown him the way. You know,
Yeah.
to me, I've said from day one, okay, if I had $1 million just to toss away, I mean, just to like toss away, I have a chance to buy something I can put on my phone and show people my phone. Go, look at this picture I got. Or I could have on the wall an original Picasso. I mean, you know, the greatest artist of all times, or a guy who's making a little JPEG of an ape. You know, I mean, which one is the better $1 million investment? You know,
Right.
I mean, and I'm just using $1 million. The same thing would apply to 10,000 and 5,000 and 20,000. You know, maybe you wouldn't get the original Picasso for the $1 million, but you could get a signed and numbered 200 print of Picassos. You know what I mean? You know, so which one? And then when people come in your house, you go, "Oh, what do you think of my Picasso?" Or you can go, "Hey, everybody, come over here. Look at my iPad.
Right.
I got this." You look at your iPad and go, "Whoopie-doo, I think my kid made one of those the other day. Can I have a screenshot of that?"
The thing, you know, what's so funny though, Gary, is that a lot of people, they didn't care about the art though, Gary. They thought about it as, I'm going to be able to buy this and I'm going to be able to flip it later for this much money and so on and so forth. And what they're finding is, the thing I've been saying the whole time is that NFTs don't actually represent ownership in anything other than a receipt. All an NFT is a receipt connected to an address. That is it. You don't own the art. And they're like, well, what about if I put it on, like if I have a physical piece of art and I put it on the blockchain? I said, think about what happens. If I have a Picasso, like Gary was talking about, and I put a representation of it on Ethereum, I put a representation of it on Solana, I put a representation of it on Binance Smart Chain. And then everybody on all those chains, they think they own the rights to this print that I have on the wall. What happens when they all come and want the print? Who gets it?
Yeah.
Nobody.
They got
to fight. They got to fight for it or do it in court. So again, that NFT does not prove ownership in anything. That's the part that I try to explain to people, and it makes them go, "Oh, Lamar, you don't know. You sound like an old man." And all I'm saying is that
you are old man.
Yeah, but think about it, Gary. We also know that we are supposed to eat green beans with a hammer. Things are what they are. You can't make them something else just because you believe or you want to make some kind of thing. Things are what they are. Now, if you took that and then changed it and did some other stuff to it, then it's different. But right now, what you're using is literally a receipt connected to an address. That's it. So it works. It might work for like a ticket, right? It's a ticket. Yeah. But think about it. If you make it a ticket, nobody's going to speculate on a ticket. Right? Unless it's like a season ticket and then the Yankees go to the World Series and you wind up getting the season pass now that price might go up. But at the end of the day,
yeah, but they aren't buying that ticket as an investment,
right?
For the future, send their kids to college,
right? Exactly, and that's what people have to understand. So, yeah, at that market, I truthfully believe though, Gary, is separate from this DeFi stuff because that market is more around FOMO and people just trying to flip it and get some money out of it. And it has not a lot of people were doing a lot of derivatives off the NFT. Here's what's so funny. I can't say that. They were really doing derivatives. They was copy pasted and making the same.
Yeah. It's just like I said. I know that I am an old man, and I'm certain ways, but I think that my Picasso scenario is the perfect scenario to explain that. I mean, you know,
right.
I have seen some people though on YouTube doing their studios, and they have monitors on their walls showing their NFTs.
Right.
So I guess you can do that, but still.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. If you're doing it, listen to the thing. If you buying NFTs because you like the artist, you want to support the artist, that's no different than you buying their album or buying a t-shirt. Okay, you're just buying something at that point. But if you're looking at it for investment,
yeah,
it's, hey, buddy.
that Rolling Stones album I bought in '69 still isn't worth that much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's still not worth that much. You know what it's worth?
I think it's up to $10 now, and I paid $2.99, so I have made some. But
it was worth the good times, right? It was worth the good times of you listening to it. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's see. I'm gonna go look at one. Somebody said that I'm looking for it right now. They said Marty Bent tweeted out that he heard rumors of FTX maybe trying to buy Mara.
Trying to buy what?
Mara Marathon. The
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, think about it. All the prices are down on everything. A lot of
Yeah.
these miners. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Compass Mining. You see what happened with that?
I'm not. They're a sponsor at BitBlock Boom. They signed up a long time ago. I don't
Oh,
know
so
what's going on with them.
if you want to have an embargo and not talk about it, we can, man.
No,
If
we
you don't
can
want
talk
to,
about it. We can talk
yeah.
about it.
But did you see what happened? They weren't able to
No.
pay their bills. They weren't able to pay their electric bill, and so
Well, luckily they paid me already.
he said, "I got my money. That's all that matters." Hey, I feel that, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find this tweet. They said Marty tweeted it out. Try to find this tweet while we talking. But yeah,
I think Marty's the one that hooked me up with him.
Compass Mining. That's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like that's another big player in the space. But this always happens when the price gets lower. Like what happens is that some of the mining that these miners were doing, they can't mine profitably anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
all the
so
miners are down.
they got to start shutting some stuff down. I'm trying to see.
Everything's down. Everything's down though.
Yeah. Here's the other part for everybody who's a no coiner that says, "What about your crypto?" You know what I tell them? What about your 401k? Because most of the stocks are down too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Everything's down. Right
It's the
now,
market we are in.
everything's down. So Bitcoin's having the same thing going on that everything else is going on. It's nothing different there.
Right.
So it's so what do you think that would mean for Martha if FTX bought them? That's a publicly traded
Right.
company.
It's man, what would that mean for a marathon? The thing that the person was saying over, and this is good. I love. Listen, shout out to everybody. Y'all are roomies too. We gonna call everybody that watches the Bitcoin roomies. You guys are roomies too. So roomies. Let's see. The roomies are over here giving me this information. What they said was that it concerns them because Sam Bankman-Fried is not really cool with proof of work. Because he came out before and talked about like the energy consumption of Bitcoin and all these other things. And if he buys a mining company, like how can he say these things and then buy a mining company at the same time, right? A proof of work mining company, right? Very interesting.
So yeah, that would that's a kind of a weird combination there. Where you hate proof of work and you don't believe in it, yet you're willing to invest. Where's this rumor coming from? Where are you seeing this at?
Yeah, I know. It's over in our comments. He might try to launch an attack on the network. But that's the thing though. LVN99 Slacker, Mara doesn't have enough bandwidth or enough hashing power to actually launch an attack on the network. I don't think they definitely don't have enough by themselves.
And even if you launched an attack on the network with it, he would be making so much Bitcoin while he was launching his attack that he'd just be making money, spending money to make it worth nothing. I mean,
right.
So I mean, he spends a fortune in electricity, mining a fortune worth of Bitcoin, and then makes it worth nothing. I mean, that's his goal. I want to spend all this money and get all this reward, and then have my reward be worth nothing. I mean,
right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking for Roomy. You got to give us some more information. Where's this Marty Bent tweet? You got to give us some more information, Roomy. I'm trying to find where Marty might have tweeted about FTX and Mara. Let's see. I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. So I'll have to maybe you saw it wrong. Never believe what they say, but believe what they do. That's what someone said. Lamar just tagged you on Marty's tweet. Cool. Thank you. See, they working with us over here. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is beautiful. Thank y'all, roomies. I'm gonna try to see if I can find this tweet. You said you just tag me on it.
I'm on Marty's Twitter page now.
Where did you tag me on this tweet? I don't see it. Go on Twitter. I'm looking for it. I can't find you.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down his page and I'm not seeing it. That doesn't mean it's not here.
Yeah, hook us up, LV9 Slacker, 99 Slacker. Somebody said Satoshi Slim. Let's see what they said. I'm an artist and wanted to get into the NFT market. My idea was to draw physical art, NFT it, and create it in a third physical medium, release it as a piece of physical art, NFT, and that third medium. with the hope that the secondary market would do the heavy lifting of buyers trying to consolidate the sets. I mean, if you're a creator, do what you need to do, right? To me, an NFT in that situation is no more than you just making a vinyl copy of your work. If somebody's willing to buy it, they'll buy it. There you go. If you're an investor, don't fool with it. And listen, I'm not even a person that recommends stuff like that. Like I don't recommend or tell you what to do with your money, but I just can't see that being anything worth getting in the long run.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this all shakes out with these NFTs. I don't think it's going to shake out very well,
right?
Personally, so if you know going in that what you're doing has a chance of just collapsing, then maybe you might want to rethink about going into it until you're sure it's not going to collapse and you're going to cause people to lose money.
Right. That's the biggest part. If you're just supporting, just know that you're supporting. And that's what it boils down to. If more people was just straight with their NFTs and saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm trying to have, then that's different than just like sitting out here trying to tell everybody to get it just so they can flip it and make some more money. Like that's not going to work at all. And we're seeing that happen.
I see people posting. I just bought this. I just bought this. I just bought this. This one I bought, the one has the highest chance of gaining profits. And I'm going, man. And this guy, I told him, I said, man, I wouldn't get into that. I tried to warn him. And then someone else who's a big shitcoiner told him, oh, this is the deal to go. And he knows the shitcoiner better than me. So he's put a fortune into these NFTs. So I'm curious to see what happens to him.
We already know most of them are pretty much down, Gary. And this is I'm gonna do this on this show because we don't really get into this kind of stuff. But I just want anybody out here who's thinking about getting into these Ethereum and all of this. There's a website that I like to go to for a lot of these Ethereum people because it's not me telling them; it's gonna be the site that tells it. I'm gonna show you. So there's this site called DApp Radar, and you can go to DApp Radar. You can go to the rankings on DApp Radar, and you can come down and look at what the biggest most used dApps are. Now, number one, what you'll notice is the number one dApp on DApp Radar isn't even on Ethereum. It's on Binance Smart Chain, which we all know is a completely centralized chain ran by Binance. Then there's Wax and Hive and Wax.
Can you even get Binance in the US?
You can get Binance US, but I don't think you can get all the stuff that they offer. So they got like Binance US and that's it. But let's look. So we see right now that Ethereum isn't even in the top for most used. This is what I look at over here as users. And this is a blockchain, so you can see everybody has access to see how many wallets are interacting with things at whatever time. And you can see this stuff right now, right? Now, if I go click on ETH, let's look. Let's find out what the number one ETH contract is. It's Uniswap. Look at this right here, Gary. Look at this. 7,000 people. That is it. Daily active users on Uniswap is 7,000 people. Now, Gary, you've run websites and conferences and all kinds of stuff before, haven't you?
Yeah. I have more people that have used my website in a day, way more than that.
Right. Look at this, Gary. Look, 5,000 people on the next one. So between the two Uniswaps, there's only 12,000 people. But they try to make you believe that there are a million of people all over the globe using Ethereum and using these smart contracts.
I think I've had more people watch live streams than that.
Right. We probably have more people watch this at the end of the day than, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. It is extremely crazy. Like, let's keep going. Let's see. MetaMask, 3,000 users. OpenSea, 2,000 users.
OpenSea, that's really big on those NFTs, isn't it?
Right.
Are all of these big on NFTs?
No, it's just OpenSea, right? OpenSea is big on NFTs as a marketplace, and yet it's 2.26 thousand unique users interacting with that contract.
I've definitely had websites that are kicking that place's butt. I mean, many websites that have kicking that place's butt.
Look at this, Gary. We're in the top 25, and the number 25 one only had 193 wallets interact with it, and it's an exchange. It's a swap.
And Hex. How many people are doing Hex?
Hold on. Look at Hex.
I didn't know that was still around. 291
people. That's it.
Yeah, you really want to invest some money in that.
And here's the thing: it's not even necessarily people, Gary, because a lot of these
Oh
people
yeah, yeah.
have many addresses. So you're talking about just a few people, but yet everyone wants to tell you that this is where the future is. There's so many things you can do on it. Da 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 da. Let's go look at Polygon, right? That's another one people talk about, which is Matic. Let's look at them. Let's see how many are actually interacting. Now, Polygon, this has 13,000. It's more than what's going on Ethereum. And yet people will tell you that Ethereum is going to be the place where everybody is. Yet, even now, you have more people transacting with Polygon contracts than you do. Look at this. This is crazy, Gary.
Why do people think that Ethereum is like such a true big deal? I mean, have you've noticed? I know you've had this happen to you that you're at a place and you're talking, and someone comes up to you and you say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just a Bitcoin guy. I'm not into any shit coins." And the first thing they say, to me at least, ways they throw up a face of surprise and they go, "Not even Ethereum? Like that's some special deal." I go, "No, not even Ethereum." I mean, but it's really, they never say not even Solano or not even anything. They always are like real surprised that when I say Bitcoin only and not even Ethereum, as though like, "Oh man, you're out of it if you don't realize Ethereum
Right.
is the real deal."
Which is crazy, Gary.
I mean, how'd they get in that position? How'd they get in that position? People think
It's
so highly of
marketing,
them.
Gary. Listen, it's what happens, right? So Bitcoin does something very simple and it's very boring, right? I tell people this all the time. Once you
But it
once you
does it real
understand
well.
Bitcoin, it's extremely boring and it should be. Like, do you care what TCP/IP does? No, nobody even talks about TCP/IP. But we use the internet every single day, and it's boring. When you get to protocols, they are boring. It's the things that you can do with the protocol that gets people so excited. So what Ethereum does is every few years they come up with a new narrative to get people excited about what they can do with Ethereum, even though they can't really do it at a high level. You can't really scale it out to a high level. And Vitalik even admitted that even if they go to Ethereum 2.0, it's still not going to help with scaling. So here we are in this system. Listen, Gary,
Years.
I'm trying to tell you. I think you paused. Yeah, listen, you paused up for a little bit on the main thing, but listen, you're right. It's supposed to be listen, not 2 years. Ethereum 2.0 was Casper first. That was like announced in 2014-15. Casper, which was going to proof of stake. They changed the name again. Then they changed the name again. Now it was Ethereum 2.0. Now they changed it to the consensus layer and the what is it? They call it the consensus layer and the state layer or something like that. So think about this, Gary. People, they just continue to keep these narratives going, and then they pump a whole lot of cash into it, and not cash, they pump a lot of the Ethereum that they already had into it to make the idea of it go up and get bigger. So then what winds up happening? Now people go, "Oh, there's all of this money tied up in these DeFi. So that's DeFi is huge. Oh, there's all of this money tied up in these NFTs. So NFTs are huge." And the truth is they just literally market it to that point. And because they have a marketing engine and because there's an actual CEO of all of these different companies that can keep marketing Ethereum, then that's what you hear about. There's no CEO of Bitcoin, right? There's nobody sitting out there with Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah, there's nowhere to go. There's no one to take charge of that and say, "Hey, do this." But every
Right.
other one there is, yeah. So that's just basic stuff there.
Yeah, somebody asked, so they asking good questions over here now. Let's see. It says Polygon being an L2 on ETH, can it continue to thrive if when ETH 2.0, 315.78 all fail? Can L2 survive? No. So here's the thing about Polygon. People don't understand. Polygon has basically set themselves up as a side chain, which means truthfully, they don't actually need that peg for it to work. Like Polygon is a side chain that doesn't necessarily need Ethereum for it to work, and they can establish their own consensus in the future and break completely off of Ethereum and be okay. So, and I truthfully believe that'll mess around and happen. I think all of these people trying to make it seem like Polygon and Matic is so in tune with Ethereum, I think what'll happen is they'll just become direct competitors like they already are. And you'll see that kind of blow up in his face as well. Somebody said Solana turned out to be a joke. Its internal clock came out of sync, and yet its consensus is proof of history.
Man, that thing is messed up. Every time I hear something about them, it's about something's wrong with that.
Oh yeah, it stops all the time. And
Yeah.
at least in the last probably 2 or 3 months, I think it stopped 2 times, 3 times, something like that. It's like that's crazy. Then somebody said,
How many times has Bitcoin messed up in the last 12 years?
uh, stopped? None. Stop, stop, no times. I don't know of any time that it stopped. I know there's been some issues, right? But they got those out of the way and we kept moving. But when you start talking about consensus, you can't keep falling out of line with consensus and then keep bringing it back. But the truth is that I think most of these people don't care about the centralization of any of these platforms, Gary. These people just want to make money, so they'll bet on anything, and as long as it makes it easier for them to make these bets, they don't care what platform it is, and that's really what the truth is out here. Somebody said, let's see. First of all, I saw Daniel. Daniel said, "Could you attribute some of the Polygon wallets to ETH since Polygon is layer 2 and not the only one?" I don't know. I mean, I think they're watching the actual Polygon transactions on DApp Radar. That's what they do. They kind of watch the chains and take in those transactions, and they keep track of the data that way. I think that's what they do. So they are probably attributing all of Polygon to Polygon. That's what you're seeing right there. Let's see. Why are you praying on this downfall? I don't care for it, but hope it survives long enough for Jams to get his return on investment. And listen, I don't know. We got the roomies up arguing in the comments right now on YouTube. Let's
Do
see.
them good. Do 'em good. They need to argue.
Is that what's your thoughts on layer zero? On layer zero, what the heck is layer zero?
I don't know any of these shit coins, Lamar. So
Me neither.
You're on your
Let me see.
with all
Building the AR social crypto app would like you to show up to our showcase in Dallas, inviting a few noteworthy folks. Building a social crypto
showcase in Dallas. I live in Dallas.
There you go, Gary. So his name is Dez LaPlade. He said he's building a social crypto app and wants you to show up. Dez LaPlade, the Pleiad. So make sure you check him out on Facebook.
What is a crypto app? You know me, I'm not really into crypto.
I don't know. As I'm saying, I have no clue. Then somebody said, Daniel said, I don't get why anyone would mess with Solana with all the halts.
100%.
100%. I don't get it either. That's what I said. But at the end of the day, as long as it looks like it can make somebody some money, then people will put all of that behind them. And as long as they can feel like they can get the money and run, which is what happened with Celsius and all of these other things, this is why we're in the position that we are in, and the reason why the markets, from a standpoint of the actual business markets in Bitcoin, are seeming kind of shaky right now, because you got all of these companies that were basically lending out people's Bitcoin to people who can't get it back to them. And to be honest, who's to say that 3A Capital didn't just throw their Bitcoin in some wallet somewhere and run off with them? Who's to say that? Who's to say they didn't borrow the Bitcoin and just run off with them?
Didn't that happen in Canada a few years ago? That guy was supposedly died and cremated in India before anyone could see it. See his body.
Right.
What was that? I can't remember what that was. It was like one of the biggest exchanges in Canada, though.
And then the coin started moving a little bit later. Remember that?
Yeah, and his wife was alive, but she didn't know where that information was.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Quadrex or something.
Right.
Yeah. People like to scam people, and people looking having FOMO are easy to scam.
Right.
And
right.
And like I said, my knowledge of these shit coins is really low because I don't spend a lot of time looking at things that I don't believe in.
That's it, Doc. Listen, I do it. I research it. Plus, I've been in the game so long. I research it so I can help some of these people. Like that DApp Radar, it opens up people's eyes a lot of times, Gary.
But that's a great tool. That's a great tool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, because they don't ever really. Because here's the thing: it's not me saying it. It is actually a site that was meant to kind of promote these crap coins. But now, when you go and look at it and look at the facts about it, you start to see that all of these crap coins, all these I call them baby coins, all of these baby coins really aren't doing what people are hyping them up to do. And I think that is a very good thing for people to see. I want them to see the truth. The whole reason why you have quote unquote blockchains, because some of that stuff I don't really believe to be blockchains, but the reason why you have these public ledgers is so you can actually go do the research for yourself and empower yourself to go look at it. So
that site was built to promote shitcoins, and now it's like showing the truth about shitcoins.
It's always shown it. Yeah, it's always shown it. They just wanted to be it really wanted to be a information site. and show like on-chain transaction, make it really easy for you to come see what's going on. And I've been using that for a very long time. I used it when I was talking to somebody who most people consider used to be a Bitcoin maxi, who a lot of people see he moved over a little bit. And me and him were having a debate, and I showed him, like, look, you're saying that all these people, you said there's more people using Ethereum, there are more people dealing with these smart contracts, but when you actually go look at the real numbers, it's smaller than most people's websites.
Yeah.
Like there are more people that come to blackbitcoinbillionaire.com every day, more people that come to blackbitcoinbillionaire.com than to show up for that show up for those smart contracts, which is crazy, man. Like seriously. Speaking of blackbitcoinbillionaire.com, make sure you roll over to blackbitcoinbillionaire.com, hit join so you can get all the information that we have on blackbitcoinbillionaire.com. And then in your second breath, make sure you head over to BitBlock Boom and pick up those tickets and stay on the lookout, because if you go join blackbitcoinbillionaire.com, you're also going to see when we launch the site for the blackout. So Gary, I think that's an hour for us, man. Listen.
This is one of our. Actually, have we ever done?
Yeah, we never really went. We usually go about 47 minutes. So this is our longest show we've had, but I think it was worth it. We had a lot built up, so we had to get a lot out. You know what I'm saying? That tends to happen. Yeah, tends to happen to the body when you consume a lot. You gotta let a lot out,
and you're not on here a lot to get rid of it.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, everybody, our roomies that are on Twitter Spaces, thank y'all for joining us. Make sure y'all check us out next week. We'll be on Thursdays, 11 or 12 o'clock, depending. Is either going to be 11 o'clock Eastern or 12 o'clock Eastern, depending on our schedules. But just be on the lookout. Make sure you follow both of us so you can get the notifications. And I appreciate you guys watching. And look, it built up. It built up pretty big on Twitter Spaces. We had a good amount of people watching on YouTube and Facebook. I think we did all right for the comeback, Gary. I think we did all right, man.
Good to know. I'll give myself applause, a pat on the back here. I did a good job there. Yeah, I'm just the talent here. Like I said, you're the guy who's behind the scenes, pulling the curtains, and behind the curtains, they're pulling the levers. There, we can call you the Oz.
Yeah,
so,
listen.
Bar the Oz.
Next week we're gonna find out if some of these companies are all the way gone or what happened. Like you give it a week, we'll see what else kind of falls off, what shakes from the tree. I mean, I think the Bitcoin price right now, I have no clue what it is, to be honest with you. You know what the Bitcoin price is, Gary? You got a clock somewhere? A Bitcoin clock somewhere?
I do have one, but it's not plugged in at the moment. But I can tell you, and 19,100 something.
Yep, 19,100. So that's what the Bitcoin price is today. This Thursday, June 30th, we are now signing off with the Bitcoin Roomies. I am Big Mar, Lamar Wilson, and
I am Gary Leland, the Bitcoin Boomer.
See you guys later, man.